Welcome back, grade 4s. Our next lesson is on another strategy for dividing, which is called dividing by renaming. This strategy is going to look a lot like dividing by subtracting with just a few differences. Okay, we start with a problem similar like 65 divided by 3. What we want to do is take this number 65 and we're going to rename it. Really what we're going to do is just break it down into some numbers that are easier to divide by 3. So think in your mind right now, what are some numbers that we know are easier to divide by 3? Well, as we learned in the last lesson, it's much easier to multiply 3 into groups of 10. So if we took 65 and broke it down, one way we could break it down into groups of 10 times 3, which is 30. So 65 could be renamed as 30 plus 30 plus 5. Another thing we could look at is combining these two 30s and making it 60 plus 5. Then we want to divide each of these numbers by 3. So here we have 30 divided by 3, which is 10, another 30 divided by 3, which is 10, and 5 divided by 3, which is 1, with a remainder of 2. Down in the second option, it's a little bit quicker as long as you know how to divide 60 divided by 3. So it's just like dividing 6 by 3, except it's 6 tenths. So it would be 20. And then again, when we divide 5, we have 1 remainder 2. So both of these options are going to give us the same answer. Up here we have 10 groups of 5, then another 10 groups of 5, and then one group of, 3, not 5. And altogether that gives us 21. But we can't forget our remainder, so we have a remainder of 2. Let's try another question together. Here we have 97 divided by 5. So we need to break 97 down into two numbers that are easier to divide by 5. So again, the easiest number to divide by 5 is always going to be, or the easiest number to come up with is always going to be 10 times 5, which is 50. So it's helpful if we can break it down into 50 plus 47. Now we need to divide each of these numbers by 5. 50 divided by 5 is 10. 47 divided by 5, if we go through our division with remainders, our times table, is 9 times 5, which is 45, and then we have a remainder of 2. So, altogether we had 10 groups of 5 here, 9 groups of 5 here, so that gives us 19, with the remainder of 2. For this next example, I want you to work ahead of me on the whiteboard. So we have 68 and we're dividing it into groups of 3. I want you to pause the video now and try to break 68 down into groups of something that's easier to divide by 3. Do that now. Okay, so you might have found that you broke 68 into 30 plus 30 plus 8. Or you might have broken it down into 60 plus 8. So when we divide these out, we're going to get 10 here, 10 groups of 3 here, and here we have 2 groups of 3 with a remainder of 2. So all together we have 10, 20, 2 with a remainder of 2. Try this next question ahead of me. Pause the video and break 99 down into something that's easier to divide into groups of 4. Okay, you might have broken up 99 into 40 plus 40, which gives me 80, plus 19 more. Or you may have just gone for 20 times 4, which is 80 plus 19. So we've got 40 divided by 4. We've got 10 groups here, another 10 groups here, and then 19 divided by 4, that's going to be 4 groups of 4, which gives me 16, with a remainder of 3. So altogether we had 20 groups of 4, with a remainder of 3. Okay, here are some practice questions I want you to do on your whiteboard. Pause the video while you do all 4 of them, then press play when you're ready to hear the answers. Okay, here's our first question. 32 divided by 9. Oops, I meant to say 39 divided by 2. So I'm going to make as many groups of 2 as I can, breaking it down. 39 can be broken down into 20 plus 19. So if I have 20, that's going to be 10 groups of 2. 19, well, I could make 9 groups of 2 with 1 left over. So all together I have 19 groups of 2, remainder 1. Next question, 76 divided by 4. So I'm going to break 76 down into something easier to divide by 4. So remember, it's always easy to divide groups of 10. So let's make 76 into 40 plus 36. Okay. If I divide 40 by 4, I get 10 groups. If I divide 36 by 4, I get 9 groups. So there's no remainder in this question. All I have is 19 groups of 4. For this next question, I'm going to name 103 as 10 groups of 5, 50, plus another 10 groups of 5, 50, plus 3. So if I divide 50 by 5, I get 10 groups here, I get another 10 groups here, and 3, I can't make any groups of 5 out of that. So all I get from that 3 is a remainder of 3. So altogether I have 10 plus a remainder of 3, that gives me 20, remainder 3. And for my last question, 92 divided by 8, I'm going to break that down into 80, which is 10 groups of 8 plus 12. So with 80, I can make 10 groups of 8. With 12, I can make 1 group of 8, and I have a remainder of 4 left over. So here I have altogether 11, 10 plus 1 groups of 8, with a remainder of 4. Well, grade 4s, if you feel like you've had enough practice and you're ready to go try a teacher check, by all means go ahead. If you'd like to stick around for a few more practice questions, we'll keep doing some more. Okay, here are your next 4 practice questions if you're ready for them. Pause the video while you do these 4, then press play when you're ready for the answers. For letter E, we can rename 49 as 30 plus 19. 30 divided by 3 is 10. 19 divided by 3 is 6, with a remainder of 1. So altogether we have 10 groups of 3 and 6 groups of 3, which is 16, with a remainder of 1. Next question, we have 76 divided by 2. So we could rename 76 as 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 16. Or, if we wanted to be a bit quicker, we could name it as 60 plus 16. Either way works. So in the longer way, each one of these 20s is going to give us 10 groups of 2. And then 16 is going to give us 8 groups of 2. Otherwise, we can divide 60 by 2, and that gives us 30. Remember, dividing 60 by 2 is the same as dividing 6 by 2. You just have to add that 0 on. Then 16 divided by 2 is 8. So altogether our answer is 38. And for our last question, we could rename 128 as 50 plus 50 plus 28. Or, if you think you know how to do it this way, you could skip a step and divide and just name it 100 plus 28. So, either way, you're going to get 10 here and 10 here, or you'd get 20 groups of 5 here from 100. Then 28 divided by 5, well, that's 5 groups of 5, which is 25, with a remainder of 3. So altogether we have 25 groups of 5, remainder 3. And our last question, 84 divided by 4. 84 could be renamed as 40 plus 40 plus 4. Or otherwise it could be renamed as 80 plus 4. So for each of these 40s, it's going to give us 10 groups of 4. And then from 4 we get 1 group of 4. Or from 80 we can do 20 groups of 4. And then from 4 we'd have 1. So altogether we have 21 groups of 4. So that's all the practice questions we have for now. If you're still feeling confused, you can feel free to go back and watch the video again, or seek help from a peer tutor or a teacher. Thanks for watching.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.